Welcome. Today we're going to talk about ovulation and PCOS. What do you need to know if you're trying to conceive? Hey, my name is Caitlin Johnson. I'm a registered dietitian. I'm the creator of the PCOS app and supplements called PCOS formularies. I was diagnosed with PCOS 20 years ago and have spent the last 10 years in private practice treating women with PCOS, trying to achieve goals of weight loss, improving symptoms, or getting pregnant. I'm really proud to say that despite 3 years of trying, my husband and I overcame infertility and had our first child and have had 2 other beautiful children despite my PCOS diagnosis. I'm here to provide hope and education that is in your future too. While we're hanging out today and I'm answering your ovulation questions, make sure you take a second and head over and hit subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video on how to eat, how to improve your symptoms, or reach your goals with PCOS. The number one question I receive about ovulation and PCOS is, am I ovulating? Now, I'm the first to tell you I'm no period fairy, but the beautiful thing is your body can actually tell us if you're ovulating. That's right. Your body has signals, ways that it can communicate to us and tell us that you're ovulating or that you need some help to ovulate. Isn't that just incredible? All right, so what are those signals? First of all, if you ovulate, your body makes a hormone called progesterone. Listen to that. Progestate, like for pregnancy. That's what this hormone is for, progesterone. Have you ever seen a bird sitting on its eggs until they hatch? Progesterone is basically the sitting on the eggs hormone. It incubates and makes your body temperature rise so that cells can divide optimally. Progesterone. How do we know if your body's making progesterone? 2 ways. You can go to the doctor and get your blood drawn and figure out if your progesterone levels are high enough to indicate ovulation, or you can take your temperature every morning using a BBT thermometer. That's a basal body temperature thermometer. That thermometer has 2 decimal points, goes to like 97.82, 97.65, or if you're in Celsius, 36.42 or 36.78. That second decimal is important because it tells us the thermometer is precise enough to catch small changes in temperature. It's not that that second decimal in and of itself is helpful. We just want a thermometer that is sensitive enough to catch the distinct kind of small intricacy changes in your temperature. So progesterone, the hen sitting on her eggs hormone, is something that your body only makes after you ovulate. It raises your core body temperature. Your basal body temperature goes up. It's easiest to see in the morning before you get out of bed, and you can buy a thermometer like this for a few bucks at local drugstores. So this is not a huge investment, but it takes commitment taking your temperature in the morning. If you do that, you will see temperatures down here, down here, down here, and then all of a sudden after you ovulate, they will hop up 0.5 to 1 whole degree. And your body can tell you itself, based on its temperature, that you've ovulated. I don't know about you, but taking my temperature in the morning sounds a lot easier than going to get my blood drawn. But to each their own. If you would prefer to go do that, that's an option for you. What do we do if we find out that we're not ovulating? That's number 2 in this journey. We figure out how to support your body to ovulate. Now, we all have a similar story. We went to the doctor, we got a diagnosis, they offered us birth control or metformin until we were ready to come back and get different medicine to get pregnant. From diagnosis, we've been set up to believe that the only way to get pregnant is through medication. Well, the medication helps you, ding, 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 ovulate. Since the medicine helps you ovulate, we're basically led to believe medicine's the only way to ovulate. So point number 2 about PCOS and ovulation is medicine's not the only way to get you to ovulate. We actually have a lot of tools in our toolbox to implement even before we have to pull out medicine. Now, disclaimer, asterisk, if you take medicine to ovulate or you've done that in the past, there is nothing wrong with that. This is not a channel that is going to shame medications. They have their place and their time. But I want you to know there are other tools in your toolbox. You don't have to take medication, okay? Sleep support, stress support, nutrition support, what the dietitians love to talk about, supplements, all of these things, exercise. There are a lot of lifestyle interventions that we can implement that will help increase your chances of getting pregnant. All right, so the first thing, how do I know if I'm ovulating? Progesterone temperature raising, go get your blood tested. The second point is you can ovulate without medication. Medication isn't your only option. The third thing I want you to know about ovulating with PCOS is ovulating isn't enough, okay? If you want to have a baby, sperm and egg have to meet, okay? Sperm and egg have to meet. So you need to ovulate and then time sex well that sperm and egg can meet. In 4th grade, I had sex ed with Mrs. Lake, and Mrs. Lake scared me and told me I could get pregnant every day of my cycle. That's actually not true. You only have 5 or 6 fertile days every menstrual cycle. If you're somebody with 4 or 5 cycles a year, you have 4 or 5 different opportunities to ovulate. You have 5-ish days around ovulation that you're fertile. So 5 opportunities times 5 fertile days is 25 days out of a whole year to get pregnant. That's not as much as your bestie next door that has a cycle every month. She gets 5 days every month to try to conceive. You're getting like 25 in the whole year. So ovulating alone isn't enough. We need to get you ovulating frequently so you can have more opportunities to time sex well to yield conception. All right, the second point I want to make under ovulation isn't enough is that progesterone levels matter. So we don't just need you to ovulate, your body then needs to have a healthy enough egg that can yield enough progesterone to support itself. There's this little bit that gets left behind in the ovary. It's called the corpus luteum. It makes the progesterone. It's where the follicle basically goes after the egg leaves the ovary, and it makes the progesterone until 2-ish weeks later, you're either pregnant and it keeps making it, or you shed your uterine lining. Next week, the topic of our video is how to increase progesterone levels with PCOS, so make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on that video. In the meantime, I'd love to invite you to download the PCOS app. It's available on Apple and Android devices. We have recipes, we have videos like this housed in there. There are articles. My Food Freedom Fertility podcast is also in the app. You can consume it there. So make sure you head over to your app store, download the PCOS app, and let's hang out there together.